So I stopped breastfeeding, and not because I wanted to, because Poppy wanted to. Oh my God, did any other moms get super emotional when they stop breastfeeding? It's definitely a mixed bag of emotions, because there's part of me that feels free. I feel like I have my body back, and it's kind of nice to have my boobs go back to their normal size, and just I have more freedom now. But I also really loved it. I really loved it because of the bonding. I felt such deep connection and bonding with both my kids. Remember, my first son, Alfie, my only son, Alfie, I breastfed for 2.5 years. You know, and I really thought Penelope was gonna be like that too. And then, like, just after she turned 10 months, she just really was not interested. She would latch occasionally, and then she would kind of do it for comfort, but not even really drink a lot. She honestly just wanted like 5-course adult meals. I mean, the girl eats like a teenage boy. It's hilarious. But I don't know that I'm having more kids. Like, right now we're not, you know, right now we have our hands full, you know, and one kid with special needs, we really do have our hands full. And we both work a lot, so like, no, we're probably not. We're getting older, you know. I just to think that, like, I'm never gonna have that is sad. It's just it's sad, but it's also freeing, you know. I wonder if any moms feel me here. I remember with Alfie, like, it solved so many problems for the first 2.5 years. You know, when he was upset, I would just pop him on the boob and he would calm and relax. And I don't have that with Poppy, you know? It's just wild how different our kids are, you know, how different, you know, one kid is from the next. I mean, Poppy is so different from Alfie in so many ways. For a starter, she's just spends her whole life clapping and waving and always wanting to be held and super smiley and, you know, always wanting attention, whereas Alfie was always a little more content, you know, more independent, I think. It's just wild how different they are, you know. You just don't expect it. I just didn't expect it. And, you know, you never think that that time is going to be your last time. You know, the last time was, from the time I'm making this video, was probably, yeah, like 2 weeks ago. This is so stupid because it's not even a big fucking deal, dude. But she always goes to sleep really easy, right? That's another thing too. Like, you can put her down when she's awake and she'll just like play with her pacifiers and then go to sleep for 12 hours. Like, she's kind of a dream. It's insane. Anyway, like 2 weeks ago, she was crying in her crib at night when we had put her down, and it was just very odd for her. And so I went in and I was rocking her and I popped her on the breast, and she didn't really get much milk, but she just cuddled me, and it was just a really nice experience. And it was so sweet, and I felt so connected to her, and she fell asleep right in my arms on my breast. And I remember I sat just a little longer, you know. Like, I could have put her down in the crib, but I just sat with her for like 20 more minutes and just watched her. Don't judge me, okay? Because I bet my hormones are funny too, that I stopped breastfeeding. You know, you don't get that, all those like endorphins or whatever, but I don't feel depressed actually. I'm just emotional, and I think it's good to cry, so. And truthfully, like, I haven't really cried much over stopping. I kind of felt free, and she's thriving. Like, she is chunky monkey. Like, she has whatever we eat, and she, oh. But then I'm also seeing too that, I think I thought, you know, it was such a huge bonding experience for Alfie and I that I thought, you know, this is why we're so close. And that's just not true at all. You know, there's so many other ways to bond with your baby. And I do still feel incredibly close to her. And, you know, we play and we read and we still snuggle. In fact, she's much cuddlier than Alfie. The only time Alfie would cuddle me was when he was breastfeeding. So I think that was part of it too. It was like, I wanted that closeness with him, and breastfeeding was the way to get it. Whereas with Poppy, she just sits and cuddles me. Like, I've never had that before. So we'll like sit and cuddle and like watch a movie together, and she just like lounges on me and cuddles in, you know? So I was so wrong about thinking, oh, like breastfeeding is, you know, the best way to have that connection. No, like, no. My titties are so small again. You can't tell because I have this double Boibs shirt, but they're not this big anymore. They're just, my itty bitty titties are back, which I'm kind of happy about. I guess I just wanted to make this video to talk about it. Talk about, you know, what was it like for you? What was it like for you the first time your baby rejected your nipple? Were you pleased? Were you devastated? Were you pleased and devastated? I think I was probably pleased and devastated. You know, they're getting older, and like, especially if this is my last baby, which it very well, maybe if I was smart, I would stop now. But I guess the good thing is I'm finding so many other ways to connect, and I don't have to do the whole weaning thing. You know, it's funny, when I was weaning Alfie, and I struggled with that. I was trying to wean him from 2 on, and it took 6 months of trying and trying until it stuck. But I remember I asked y'all how you weaned your babies, and you were like, oh, my baby weaned themselves. And I'd be like, what? How? Huh? No. What? Well, now I get it. Now I get it. I am no longer breastfeeding a baby, my baby. And maybe I will never breastfeed again. Why is it so emotional? Tell me your story in the comments. I want to read all of them. And if you're a breastfeeding mom out there, just try and savor it as much as you can. I know it's annoying and you're like, shut up, my nipples are cracked, I'm engorged, I'm leaking, I just sprayed my mother-in-law accidentally. Like, I know it's very challenging. I didn't know that time in the nursery was going to be my last time. I didn't know. But it's weird because maybe on some level I did, because I stayed so much longer and I just let her fall asleep on my nipple for way longer than I normally would have. So maybe subconsciously I knew. And then every time after that, she just rejected me. I'd give it to her and she's like, whoa, no, thank you. I would like a plate of pasta and a banana, almond butter, and potatoes, and broccoli, and pineapple, and raspberries. Just literally oatmeal, and just anything. Just, I want adult food. I don't want your stupid nipple. Anyway, life is funny and unpredictable, isn't it? I think people think that I'm like this hardcore lactivist, which I am, but also I'm very well aware that breastfeeding is not in the cards for everyone, and that is fine. You know, whatever works for the mom, you know? So there's never any judgment. Anyway, I'm rambling, babbling, but I wanted to just share that with you and hear your experiences. For those of you who don't know, Boibs is my clothing brand, and it was literally created because of a woman who criticized me for breastfeeding Alfie. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry again. Shut up. Okay, so I'll tell you the story really quickly for anyone newish here. A couple years back, when Alfie was 6 months old, maybe even 5 months, Steve and me and Alfie went out to lunch, and I was eating a lentil salad while I was breastfeeding Alfie. So Steven thought that was funny, and he Insta-storied us, Alfie on my breast while I was eating a salad, saying, oh, they're both eating lunch. That was it. Then he posted it to his stories, and I shared that to my story, Anyway, I get this DM moments later from this woman, and she literally responds saying, "You have no self-respect. You have no dignity. Put your boibs away. Your boibs are for your husband. That baby is too big for your boibs." So Steven and I couldn't believe the comment, and we couldn't believe that this woman misspelled boobs not once, not twice, but 3 times. She spelled it B-O-I-B-S, boibs, and we were killing ourselves laughing. Also, Alfie was 6 months, so like, what? Anyway, I had no self-respect or no dignity for feeding my 6-month-old at a restaurant, and that I should have been feeding my husband? Like, what? Anyway, I responded, and I decided to post that DM because it was so funny to us. And of course it went super viral, and there were like thousands of stories from women talking about them being publicly shamed for breastfeeding. And just, I realized like what an issue this was and how important this was. And I started seeing the hashtag normalize breastfeeding and all of that. And I just wasn't so aware of it. I just thought breastfeeding was beautiful. I didn't understand why it should be hidden, why you should have a blanket. Do you eat with a blanket over your head? Why would a baby want to do that? You know, it just didn't make any sense to me, and I didn't realize what an issue it was until that day. Anyway, later on, we were approached to start a clothing line, and Steven was like, "We should call it Boibs." And I was like, "That's the worst idea I've ever heard in my life." And he's like, "Or is it the best?" And I thought, and I thought, and I thought, and then I was like, wait a minute, this is actually a really cool idea for the brand name, because I liked that it wasn't a real word, like goop, you know, catchy, and it's not a real word, but it has a really meaningful origin story. So I just thought, okay, yeah, that's it. That is Boibs. So yes, we created a clothing brand off of the spelling error of a troll. Again, life is unpredictable. Thank you for watching me cry. It was very nice to cry. I think crying is good and healthy, and yay, I feel good, and I want to hear your stories. So comment below. I love you, and that's it.
What's going on here?
I don't know, to be honest.
I can't decide which one of these two I like best.
It's
I like
really
this one,
intense,
and I
Sibling.
like this one, and I like this one. I like all 3 of these, and I can't decide which is the best.
Well, he definitely says not her.
And she says not him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, he's kind of cuddly.
He is, look. Oh, dangerously close, buddy. I think you're starting to like her. He's starting to catch feelings.